Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for your support, okay? Thank you for any really nice comments yesterday. Really appreciate it. Every day I get really nice comments on these videos, which is good. I'm glad you find them helpful, resourceful and educational as well. That's really important to me, okay? And it always has been my primary agenda. You know, I've got affiliate links in there, but you won't hear me pushing them too much, okay? Because at the end of the day, I just get so much sort of gratitude out of helping everyone, and it's really good when I get really nice comments. That's part and parcel of why I do this, okay? And I started doing it because I just put my knowledge out there. I know I'm not the best technical analysis, and I've not got a crystal ball and all that sort of spiel, but you know, at the end of the day, I just say what I see, okay? And so far, you know, Bitcoin is adhering to support. It's looking relatively well, isn't it? Everyone's aware of this 35k. I think it's just above 35k, the resistance right there, and if it breaks it, it's looking good. And obviously if it rolls over, you've got your key level support, which you do need to hold. Now, as outlined in yesterday's video, I don't want to see a 20k Bitcoin in this bull run because like I've said to you on the Gaussian channel on the 5-day, that is a very bearish scenario for me. Because you're falling under the Gaussian channel. If you missed yesterday's video, okay, you're falling under the lower support of the Gaussian channel just there at 20k, and that to me spells a big tick to bear market right there, okay? Just like I outlined, you know, when you lose the support of the channel there, it's a big tick. You're in a bear market. Look, boom, you lost it. See you later, alligator. It's a confluencing factor that if you do particularly start to lose this particular level of support, you know, looking back at the history of Bitcoin, you lose that, you're in a bear market. Okay, for Bitcoin. So I'll show you just here, you know, bear market, you roll over, you lose a lower band of support in the Gaussian channel on the 5-day, boom, bear market, big tick, every time, okay, every time. Well, that didn't actually fall in that time because it was an inception then, but you can see that held up quite nicely there for continuation of that particular bull run. But you can see in the previous two cycles here that when Bitcoin does fall under this band, boom, see you later, alligator. And just there, you know, with a corona dump, this was good actually. I do believe that at the moment we're going through something very similar with this cycle one, Elliott wave theory, the deep wave 2 pullback there. Do you see that? So your wave 1's up, your wave 2 back, your wave 3's up, your wave 4's back, and then obviously, which you're fully aware of, the wave 5 is up as well. And like I said to you, if you start to fall any lower than this particular yellow line just here at 13,927, that's invalidating the Elliott wave theory right here, because your wave 4 is potentially coming deeper than the wave 1 high. Do you see that? So that actually throws your Elliott wave out the window right there. But so far so good, we're holding on, aren't we? But I don't want to see the 20k. I do not want to see that 20k. I'm being fully transparent now that I don't want to see that, because if we do, you know, you enter in a bear market. It's a big precursor. It is. You're in a bear market effectively, and you're going to start dragging EMAs. You're going to start forming death crosses. Sell and go to the weak signal right there. We're clinging on for dear life, aren't we? Okay, we are clinging on for dear life, and if we can get the bounce here, okay, because what you've got to remember right now, we are holding a really key level of support, okay? Looking at the weekly, we're holding a really key level of support, and like I said to you, you're holding it so well. Hold support, okay? You don't go short. You lose support, go short, and you can see if you hold support really strongly, that's where you start to build up a momentum. You know, the buying pressure comes back into the market, like the same, you're in resistance, what do? You fall back to support. If you hold in support, you break up to resistance, and it is simple as that in the markets, okay? Unless obviously there's a rollover, which you're fully aware of. But right now we're holding this key level of support on the weekly. We're seeing the week out above that. Do you see that? This 12.272 Fibonacci extension, where I've shown you in previous bull runs where when you go up and you come back down, you hold it as support for continuation. Do you see this? And you never fall through it in a bull cycle. Look, you went up here, and where did you find support? On the 1272 before continuation and making that blow off top just there, which we've not had for Bitcoin. A lot of people would say this is a bit of a blow off top. Yeah, I completely agree that we got overextended. There was loads of greed and loads of FOMO in the market, okay, and there was some manipulation at play, as you're fully aware of, the Wyckoff distribution model just here, okay. And now a lot of people say we're going through a Wyckoff accumulation. You know, there's all sorts of patterns at play. We've got the free peaks and the domed house, which you're fully aware of as well. But, you know, just looking at the charts, ignore the patterns at the moment, looking at charts, if we continue to hold this support, the 1272, you're going to build up momentum, you're going to build up steam, you're going to get that EMA retest as well, which is the EMA squeeze, which I've told you about so many times. Because at the minute, like I've said to you, on any time frame, when you're between the EMAs, you're under the 20 and you're above the 55, you're consolidating. You're chop sideways, boring, rubbish, up, down, left, right. It doesn't know what it wants to do until it decides which way it wants to go. But you've got to remember, at the moment, you are holding this key level of support right here, okay? The 1272, something that in previous cycles, when you've done it, you've got continuation. So do remember that. Now, if we do have a nasty wick down, back into this channel on this is the weekly, but if we do come back down into this channel and lose this lower support band here, you can see, because that's hogging the 1272 right now, the medium line of the Gaussian channel. Do you see that? That's hogging that right now. So if you do start to lose that, this is where you can see the little wick down to this swing high just here on the daily time frame. This is why I've got this particular target in mind here, okay? It's a swing high, because like I said to you, when you lose swing lows, you target previous swing highs. You've got a little bit of cluster there, which you may see a potential bounce there, okay? But if you do start to lose that little cluster of support, this is where you will see a bounce of Bitcoin. If it does roll over as well, by the way, and you know, that would look relatively nasty, wouldn't it, in the market? But it's looking relatively strong so far. I'm not going to lie to you, it's looking relatively strong. We're seeing a lot of bullish divergences across the board, okay, on most time frames as well, which is really good. So it's doing okay. It's doing okay. It's holding support, and you can't ignore that. And obviously, you've got the bullish hammer candle there on the weekly, which is a really bullish. It's a reversal trend indicator, basically. Yeah. So anyway, you know, the theory is lose support, go short. Don't lose support, don't go short, basically. If we can consolidate now in this range, and obviously we've got a key level of resistance that we do need to see broken for continuation. We've got some breakout targets as well, which you're fully aware of. If we can break that, great, because you're looking at more upside, and you'll start to create some bullish kind of reversal structure right there for Bitcoin. But as long as we hold support, we're looking good for continuation, basically. We could afford, and this is the thing, you know, when you're closing below this and you're hitting your head, that is, you've lost this, basically. You know, where the candles start to come on a weekly time frame and they're doing something like this, rolling over, you know, you're losing that key level of support right there, aren't you, on a weekly? Because what you could do is roll over, wick down, come back up, and not actually close below this level of support where you start hitting your head. So just like here, you know, these nasty wicks, look, you've got this wick here that wicked down to a particular target and came back up. Now there is a couple of things that are telling me, obviously, that I'm going to be honest with you, there's a couple of things that are telling me that we are not looking at further upside for Bitcoin here. We are looking potentially at one more rollover, and this is why I'm showing you this target just here, okay? It's on the 5-day channel. Let's have a look. When you enter this channel here, okay, usually you hold the medium of support, which you're doing right now, but if you start to roll through it, you do test the bottom, and you can see where the bottom is right now on this swing high, okay? So do anticipate. I'm just giving you that breakdown target right now. I don't want to see 20k. 20k is bear market material, okay? I've already gone through that with you. 24k, we can hold that and have that little wick down, come back up and get closing back above the 1272 for continuation. That would be good. Now there is obviously indicate, if you're watching all the other videos, there is breakdown targets on those particular alts that I'm targeting, okay? You know, they're looking relatively weak unless we can get a pickup. And obviously Bitcoin is the sort of catalyst to drag those particular projects down. They won't just go because they have a target. Bitcoin is the thing that pulls them down or pulls them up, and you're fully aware of that now in this space, okay? So with that, you've got to look at, and this is why I was looking at sort of VeChain breaking down, XRP breaking down, and they don't break down on their own. And I knew that with that, Bitcoin was going to break down. That's why I kept giving you the breakdown targets. So this is why I'm giving you a second layer target. So this is why I'm giving you another breakdown target here at 24,380. Put some cheeky bids in there. You may be lucky to get them filled at that level, because like I've shown you, there's a cluster just above. I'll just tell you what that cluster is right now. If we do start to see a roll, it is all big ifs as well. So you've got this cluster here, okay? See this? This is basically a level of consolidation where you went up, you consolidated, you created a swing high to swing low. Do you see that? And then you went back up and you had this little cluster just here. So you may sort of wick down to this particular level. So I'm just going to drop it in the center of that, and that's 26,773. Ladder your bids in, okay? So I'm going to drop a little target in here for you, just there, because if it does wick down, that could be a potential target as well. But obviously this is currently matching up with a 5-day Gaussian channel, this 24,510. Okay, so if you do start to see the roll and it lose 26,773, do put some cheeky bids in down here at this level, because I think that would be your low in this market if Bitcoin does roll again. It is a big if, okay? But at the moment, as you're fully aware, we are holding support on the weekly. We're doing relatively well for continuation right here for Bitcoin. So, you know, you may not get that opportunity, but who knows? No one's got a crystal ball, but if it does come, it'll be fruitful for all, okay? But yeah, I'm seeing breakdown targets on XRP, ADA, VeChain, Chainlink, okay? Obviously, the breakdown targets do not have to be met, but it's like they're there staring me in my face, and I'm like, well, how are they going to get there? And the only way they're going to get there is if Bitcoin rolls again. So do anticipate a roll in the market once more, and that's probably the last roll in the market. And you know, like I've said to you in previous videos, that would tally up with coming down to this particular trend line on the RSI, on the weekly RSI. You would absolutely see the stock RSI in the absolute floor here. Okay, the MACD would come down to a beautiful reset level right there on the weekly. Look how high it is. Okay, so that come down potentially under the histogram as well. It's going to offer optimal opportunity, I think, that if we do potentially have one more rollover here for Bitcoin and it fails to break key resistance up above, you know, this last roll is the last roll, and it's the end of the C wave of the ABC correction before hopeful continuation of the wave 5 up to 200k per Bitcoin. But again, it is all theory based. Okay, you know, we could build up steam here and hold this support and consolidate like this, you know, and then blast up out of here. So do anticipate that if we keep it at resistance, we're going to fall back to support basically. So right now, I'm sorry I'm boring you, I'm going to jump into the hourly time frame for Bitcoin. Okay, I do apologize. I do want to try and make these videos a little bit quicker, because I know I do ramble on quite a lot, and I don't necessarily want to bore the pants off you all, but I do try and like to be quite thorough with you and explain my logic behind everything. Okay, so you've got this W double bottom pattern that you're fully aware of right now. Okay, you've got this ascending triangle, which obviously is reversal. You know, these are continuation patterns, and this is an example of one that's not a continuation pattern. Okay, so do pay attention to this, because like I said to you, you know, you fall into them, you break out of them usually, but this is an actual reversal one, because look, you've got this ascending triangle, you break resistance, support, and eventually you broke the resistance and you went long, and obviously you've got your breakout target of this. So this is an example of one that's a reversal, and you can see, look, come up and then start to consolidate, hit a peak, a plateau, rolled over for continuation. And this is good. This is relatively good, okay, for Bitcoin. It is good, I'm not going to lie to you. And then you've got your diamond top and obviously continuation again, which we've spoken about. But I just want to show you this ascending triangle, which is obviously, you know, if you're coming up into a trend, the continuation. If you're coming down into a trend, the continuation basically. And this was one that was sort of went the other way, and there is a statistic, I think it's something like 32% that they go the other way and 68% that they continue. There is a website, it's called chartpatterns.com or something, and there's all the statistics for each and every pattern on there. Get on there, have a look, it's quite interesting, and you'll see patterns that I don't even know. So yeah, there's I think there's hundreds and hundreds of patterns, you know. So I'll drop the link to that website in this video, so you can go on there and sort of have a look and educate yourself. But what I want to reassure you of at the moment, you know, Bitcoin does look relatively strong on the hourly time frame. You're above the EMAs, you're holding the 20, and like I said yesterday, if you continue to hold this, it's going to creep you up to test this level of resistance. And you can see you've had a little breakout this morning, you got rejected and you've started to roll back. But what are you being supported by? The 20 EMA. And when you're above the 20 EMA, okay, in a bullish cross, you are in an uptrend on that time frame. Really is that simple. So you're being forced into some kind of move here for Bitcoin. Okay, and again, you've got some kind of ascending triangle on the go here. Do you see this? So you've got your level of resistance just there, and you've got your level of support which you're adhering to, and with the EMA creeping you up as well, you're going to see a break relatively soon. Okay, and it's going to be, as it gets close to the apex, you're either going to see a pop up to the upside with continuation. Do check for volume, keep an eye on the volume with that break though, because you get something called a fake out where you roll back down, okay, and it gets invalidated. So keep an eye, this break needs to be backed up with volume, and again, if it breaks to the downside, it needs to be backed up with volume, because otherwise you come down, you come back up and continue. Do you see that? But to be fair, these, when they do break, they do sort of continue in the fashion. You know, you've got your ascending triangle right there, continuation trend. There's a reversal of a continuation pattern basically. It broke to the upside, okay, which I've just outlined. So you've got a very similar scenario. You've got a level of support, a level of resistance, and you're adhering to the 20 EMA. If you hold it, great, because you're looking at a break just here. And like I've said to you, the break is initially, okay, initially you'll see something like this, where Bitcoin breaks up, consolidates. So you're looking at a 36,664 in one big pump, just like this, boom, consolidate, then continue and create another pattern with full continuation. But the overall target of Bitcoin, which you're fully aware of out of this W double bottom pattern just here, is this target up here, 41,718. So do anticipate that if we break this and we continue to consolidate, your eventual target is 41,718. And obviously you're fully aware the most important key resistance for Bitcoin, which I've outlined yesterday, is this, okay? You need to see Bitcoin break that, because that's the level of resistance. When you've broke down, you've hit your head on it multiple times, where in fact you actually broke out, looked really good, and you ran into it as resistance. Okay, you actually had a breakout target here of a W double bottom as well. Do you see this? Look, so you had a level of resistance, you had the breakout target, just here. You broke resistance, and that was your target just there of 43680. And you're coming up, yay, we're off to the races, we've got the reversal, but you ran into a level of resistance, and that resistance is multi-month resistance just there created when you've come down. Do you see that? So this is the most important level of resistance right here, 40695. If you see Bitcoin break that, you are looking golden here for reversal. You're looking at continuation, a potential bottoming, and a reversal in the trend. And obviously with that, you've got the break above the daily EMAs, which is the most important thing. Okay, if you start to see the EMAs broken above, i.e. the 55, you break above the 55 on the daily, you are looking absolutely golden for reversal here for Bitcoin. So do anticipate that, you know, with all this beautiful reversal patterns that you're seeing YouTubers do and stuff like that, it looks great, but unless you break key levels of resistance, there's no continuation. You're going to run into a wall, and you're potentially going to roll back and form that lower low. Now I've given you the reason why I'm potentially looking at this lower low. It's the bottom of the Gaussian channel, so you can break down targets on alts, okay, and obviously you've got the RSI in Bitcoin on the weekly, and you've got the stock RSI on Bitcoin on the weekly as well, and they're adhering to that trend line. So do anticipate that potentially we are looking at one more dump for Bitcoin. And that's it, basically. Break resistance, go long. Lose support, go short. Take care, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with an update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. And I do apologise for the length of this video. Take care. Bye-bye.